Have you ever imagined holding in your hand a piece of American history so rare, so treasured, and so unbelievably valuable that collectors from all over the world would do anything just to own it? Imagine a coin that was once passed from hand to hand during the Great Depression. A coin that bought groceries, paid for gas, or maybe even slipped through the hands of someone who never realized they were touching a hidden fortune. And yet, here we are today, nearly a century later, discovering that this very coin has transformed into a priceless treasure that can change a person's life overnight. Welcome back to Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, the most trusted channel that brings you faithful and daily updates about the most mysterious, most valuable, and most life-changing coins in the United States. If you're watching this video right now, you are about to uncover secrets that could lead to a fortune, hiding right in your own collection, your drawers, or even your pocket change. Today's journey is not just about old nickels, but before we get to all six, let's begin with one of the most shocking, most demanded, and most collectible coins in the entire Buffalo Nickel series, the 1936 Buffalo Nickel. Coin number 1. The Buffalo Nickel series itself is legendary. Minted from 1913 to 1938, these nickels were designed by sculptor James Earl Fraser, and they quickly became one of the most beloved designs in American coinage. On the obverse, the profile of a proud Native American, a composite of several chiefs Fraser admired, stares out with dignity and strength. On the reverse, an American bison, often referred to as a buffalo, stands firm, representing the untamed spirit of the American frontier. Each coin is more than metal. It's a slice of history, a symbol of identity, and for collectors, a dream waiting to be discovered. But when it comes to the 1936 Buffalo Nickel, things become truly extraordinary. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin has captivated collectors for decades. What makes it stand out? First, the mintage. While millions of Buffalo nickels were struck over the years, not all survived in collectible condition. The 1936 when found in fine or very fine condition, is rare enough. But in the condition we are talking about today, beautifully preserved, carrying a natural patina, and exhibiting sharp details, it is nothing short of breathtaking. Collectors prize this coin for its unique features. Look closely at the D mint mark just below the 5 cents on the reverse, and you will notice that coins from this particular issue often reveal striking clarity. The portrait of the Native American on the obverse often shows distinct detail in the feathers, hair, and cheekbone, features that get worn down quickly in circulation. To find a 1936 Buffalo nickel with these details still crisp and clean is like striking gold in the world of numismatics. In rarity, that is where the story takes a dramatic turn. While casual collectors may assume Buffalo nickels are common, after all, many of us have seen one in a relative's old coin jar, the truth is that specific mint years and conditions separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. The 1936 in very fine condition is incredibly scarce. Collectors around the world are in fierce competition whenever one appears at auction. These coins don't just sit in showcases. They become the centerpiece of collections, treasures that spark envy and admiration. Now let's talk about the part you've been waiting for, the value. Remember, I told you earlier not to think of this as just a coin. Think of it as a treasure, a fortune compressed into a 5-cent piece. Today in the current auction market, a 1936 Buffalo nickel in very fine condition has been valued at a jaw-dropping $168,500. Yes, you heard that right. A nickel just 5 cents when it was minted now holds a value that can make you feel like you're carrying a king's ransom in your hand. And here's the most shocking part. This value is absolutely current, not fiction, not an exaggeration. Collectors are paying this exact price today, and the demand is only growing stronger. Its market value is increasing day by day, and if history has taught us anything, this coin is not done rising. To own one is to hold a fortune that grows like a treasure chest, filling itself over time. For collectors, this coin is a dream. My advice, if you ever come across one, check your inherited collections, estate sales, coin shows, don't hesitate. Verify its authenticity, check the condition, and if it is genuine, guard it like the treasure it truly is. Coins like this are not just investments, they are legacies, capable of being passed down through generations with stories of fortune and wonder attached to them. And that, my friends, is the magic of the 1936 D Buffalo nickel. A simple coin turned priceless artifact. A pocket-sized treasure chest. And it's just the beginning of our journey today, because the coins that follow are just as astonishing, some even more so. So stay tuned as we continue to uncover the top 6 ultra-rare and most valuable Buffalo nickels that exist in today's auction market. Coin number 2. Now, if you thought the 1936 D was already a heart-stopping discovery, wait until you see the next treasure. Because coin number 2 in our countdown is not just another Buffalo nickel. It's a dazzling survivor from the depths of American history. A coin that holds within it both mystery and monumental value. I'm talking about the 1934 D Buffalo nickel, a coin that continues to shake the numismatic world with its rarity, its beauty, and its skyrocketing demand among serious collectors. To truly appreciate this coin, we need to step back into the early 1930s. America was reeling from the Great Depression, and every cent, even every nickel, carried the weight of survival. Families stretched their coins to buy bread, to put fuel in lamps, to keep life moving in one of the most difficult economic times in our nation's history. The 1934 D Buffalo nickel is a relic of that struggle and a piece of metal that not only circulated in tough times, but somehow endured the decades to arrive before us today in very fine condition. That alone makes it historic. The artistry of the Buffalo nickel is something worth pausing on again. Designed by James Earl Fraser, its obverse captures the proud and noble image of a Native American, while its reverse displays the enduring figure of an American bison. The 1934 D strikes in particular are known for a certain boldness and detail. The Denver Mint's craftsmanship gave the bison a lifelike strength, and the Native American profile shows depth and texture that collectors crave. Even after years of circulation, when found in well-preserved condition, this coin radiates a kind of raw power, a reminder of both endurance and resilience. So, what makes the 1934 D truly unique? First, its production numbers. While millions of nickels were minted across various years, the 1934 D stands out because far fewer have survived in collectible quality. Many of the coins from that era were heavily used, ground down in circulation until the fine details were almost gone. But in very fine condition, like the specimen we are talking about today, those intricate details from the braids and feathers in the Native American's hair to the solid outline of the bison's powerful frame are still intact. That level of preservation makes this coin a rare and highly desirable gem. And rarity always breeds competition. When a 1934 D Buffalo nickel appears at auction, collectors don't just raise their paddles, they fight for it, knowing that opportunities like this may not come again for years. The demand for this coin is so intense that even seasoned collectors describe it as a holy grail in their collections. It is not the kind of coin you tuck away and forget. It's the kind of coin you showcase, the kind that defines a collection. Now comes the part that sends shivers down the spine: the value. While once just a simple 5-cent piece in Depression-era America, today the 1934 D Buffalo nickel in very fine condition commands a breathtaking current market price of $175,500. Let that sink in. We're talking about a nickel, a coin smaller than the palm of your hand, worth nearly $200,000 today. This is not a fantasy number. This is the very real, very current auction price being paid by collectors right now. And the most exciting part? The value of this coin is rising, steadily climbing with each passing year. Its demand outpaces supply, making it not just a collectible, but an ever-growing treasure chest. Owning one is like holding a vault of wealth that keeps filling itself over time. Collectors should take note, the 1934 D is more than just an investment. It is a legacy piece. If you ever come across one, authenticate it immediately and treat it with the reverence it deserves. Because once it is gone, the chances of finding another in similar condition are almost non-existent. This coin is living proof that small pieces of history can transform into monumental treasures. The 1934 D Buffalo nickel is not just a coin, it's a story of survival, a symbol of power, and a prize that collectors treasure above almost anything else. And remember, my friends, this is only coin number 2 in our countdown. The deeper we go, the more jaw-dropping the discoveries become. Stay with me, because the next coins will leave you in absolute awe of what treasures might still be hiding in plain sight. Coin number 3. Just when you think we've reached the peak of rarity and value, another hidden treasure steps forward. Coin number 3 in our incredible countdown is a coin so extraordinary, so breathtaking, that collectors whisper its name with reverence. It is none other than the 1921 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark, a coin that captures both the spirit of America's history and the thrill of unimaginable fortune. The year 1921 was a turning point in America. The scars of World War I were still fresh, the economy was shifting, and the nation stood on the edge of a new modern era. During this turbulent time, the Buffalo nickel was already well established as a symbol of the American story. James Earl Fraser's design remained unchanged, proudly honoring the Native American heritage on one side and the mighty bison on the other. But the 1921 issue holds a very special place. Struck only at the Philadelphia Mint, which means no mint, mark appears on this coin. This edition has become one of the rarest and most sought-after Buffalo nickels ever created. Its composition is the same as the rest of the series, 75% copper and 25% nickel. But what makes it extraordinary is its scarcity and survival. Many of the 1921 nickels entered heavy circulation. They passed through countless hands across countless transactions during a time when every nickel mattered. As a result, most examples wore down to nearly unrecognizable pieces. Finding one in fine condition today, with its details still visible and its beauty still shining, is like stumbling upon buried treasure that refused to be lost to history. Look closely at this masterpiece. The obverse reveals a Native American profile with strong outlines, still carrying the proud dignity of Fraser's design. The reverse presents the enduring figure of the American bison, its massive body still distinct even after more than a century. For a coin minted over 100 years ago, the preservation of these details is a wonder in itself. This is why collectors hunt for the 1921 with unmatched passion. It's not just a coin, it's a relic, a survivor, and a crown jewel in the Buffalo nickel series. And when we talk about rarity, the 1921 without mint mark stands in a league of its own. Its mintage was far lower compared to other years, and surviving examples in collectible condition are vanishingly rare. When one does appear at auction, the atmosphere is electric. Collectors from around the globe bid fiercely, each determined to claim a piece of history that almost never surfaces. The competition is so intense that owning a 1921 Buffalo nickel has become a symbol of prestige, a statement that your collection belongs in the highest ranks of numismatic achievement. Now, let's open the treasure chest and reveal the value. The 1921 Buffalo nickel in fine condition commands a staggering, heart-stopping price in today's market, $210,500. Yes, over $200,000 for a single nickel. And let me make this clear, this is not speculation, not fantasy. This is the real current market price that collectors are paying right now. It is absolutely true. This coin has the power to transform a simple 5-cent piece into a life-changing treasure. The kind of fortune people dream about finding in an old box, a drawer, or a passed-down family collection. And here's the best part. Its value is not static. It's climbing higher and higher with each passing year. The demand grows stronger while the supply remains locked, forever limited. Owning a 1921 Buffalo nickel is like holding a golden key to wealth, a treasure chest that never stops filling. Don't underestimate it. This is not just an expensive coin. It is a legacy, a priceless heirloom that carries both history and immense value. For collectors watching right now, here's my advice. If you ever encounter a 1921 Buffalo nickel, especially in fine condition or better, seize the opportunity. Verify its authenticity, safeguard it, and know that you are holding a piece of American history worth more than its weight in treasure. This coin is proof that numismatics is not just a hobby, it is a journey into hidden fortunes. The 1921 Buffalo nickel without mint mark stands as one of the greatest symbols of rarity, survival, and collector passion. And the most thrilling part? We are only halfway through our list. The coins still ahead will leave you stunned, each one more shocking, more valuable, and more in demand than the last. Stay with me because the treasures we're about to uncover next may just redefine what you thought possible in the world of rare coins. Coin number 4. Just when you thought the treasures couldn't get any more breathtaking, we uncover yet another piece of American history that proves why buffalo nickels are considered legends in the coin world. Coin number 4 in our countdown is the 1925 buffalo nickel without a mint mark, a coin that, at first glance, might look like just another vintage nickel. But in truth, it hides a value and story that can leave even seasoned collectors speechless. The year 1925 was a fascinating chapter in America's story. The Roaring Twenties were in full swing. Jazz filled the air, automobiles were transforming transportation, and the United States was surging with confidence and change. Yet, tucked within the ordinary exchanges of life, the buffalo nickel quietly continued its journey. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark, the 1925 issue has since become one of the most coveted and desirable coins in the entire series. What makes this coin so special begins, as always, with Fraser's timeless design. The obverse carries the proud Native American profile, carved with bold lines that reflect heritage, dignity, and resilience. The reverse displays the American bison, a powerful animal that symbolized both the frontier spirit and America's untamed strength. But unlike some of the more common years, the 1925 Philadelphia issue was struck in smaller numbers that have survived in far fewer collectible conditions. Most of these coins lived rough lives in circulation. They were passed hand to hand through diners, gas stations, and everyday purchases, wearing down the fine details that collectors treasure. That's why finding a 1925 buffalo nickel in fine condition today is such an incredible discovery. The details that remain the Native American's hairline, the braids, the strong features, and the outline of the bison's body are sharp enough to showcase the artistry while still carrying the warm character of a coin that truly lived in history. This coin is also known among collectors for subtle variations in strike quality. Some 1925 nickels show weaker strikes, with the reverse lettering and bison details appearing softer. That makes the examples in fine condition with good detail even more valuable and desirable. Every nuance of sharpness, every preserved line elevates this coin into the ranks of treasure. And speaking of treasure, let us talk about rarity. The 1925 buffalo nickel without a mint mark doesn't just show up in every coin shop or estate sale. It is one of those coins that causes a stir whenever it surfaces. Collectors across the world recognize it immediately and know they are witnessing something special. When it comes to auctions, this coin doesn't just sell, it ignites bidding wars. Demand consistently outpaces supply, and each year fewer examples are available on the open market. Now here comes the moment that collectors dream of. The value. The 1925 buffalo nickel in fine condition holds a staggering current market value of $205,500. Let that number sink in. Over $200,000 for a 5-cent piece struck nearly a century ago. This isn't myth, this isn't fiction. This is the truth of today's auction market. And here's the most thrilling part. Its value is still climbing, year after year. It's like holding a hidden fortune that keeps growing as time moves forward. A coin like this isn't just money, it's a vault, a treasure chest, a legacy waiting to be passed down through generations. For collectors, my advice is simple. If you ever encounter a 1925 buffalo nickel without a mint mark, take it seriously. Have it authenticated immediately and recognize that you are in possession of something very few people in the world will ever have. This isn't just an investment. It's a cornerstone of a world-class collection, a prize that collectors will chase for decades to come. The 1925 buffalo nickel proves once again why these coins are more than just metal discs. They are artifacts, time machines, treasures with stories carved into every line. And while $205,500 may sound unbelievable, it is absolutely real, absolutely current, and absolutely justified by the rarity and demand this coin carries. And remember, this is still only coin number 4 in our journey. The excitement only builds from here. The final 2 coins on our list will redefine everything you thought you knew about rare nickels, their values, and the treasures hiding in plain sight. Stay with me, because what comes next will leave you in absolute awe. Point number 5. As we move deeper into our countdown, the treasures only grow more astonishing. And now we uncover a coin that doesn't just whisper history. It roars with the power of a bygone era. Coin number 5 is the remarkable 1917 buffalo nickel without a mint mark. a coin that stands as one of the most extraordinary survivors of America's early 20th century. The year 1917 was a time of enormous change in the United States. The nation had just entered World War I, and every resource, every commodity, every coin carried a weight of urgency. Money circulated at a blistering pace as the country prepared for war, and the Buffalo nickel was right at the center of daily life. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark, the 1917 Buffalo nickel is more than just a coin. It is a relic of America's wartime economy, a tangible reminder of the sacrifices and resilience of a generation. Designed by James Earl Fraser, the Buffalo nickel was already admired for its powerful design. On the obverse, the Native American portrait gazes forward with strength, representing the spirit of America's first peoples. On the reverse, the massive bison stands firm, a living symbol of endurance and untamed power. But what sets the 1917 issue apart is its survival. Very few examples of this coin have come down to us in collectible condition. The majority were worn smooth by years of circulation during the war and the difficult years that followed. To find one today in fine condition is a discovery that borders on miraculous. Examine the details, and you will see why collectors treasure this piece so much. Even in fine condition, the Native Americans' braids, cheekbone, and feathers can still be seen, offering a clear glimpse into Fraser's artistry. The bison's body remains strong and defined, its stance full of presence. These details are what make the 1917 Buffalo nickel not just another coin, but a masterpiece of American coinage, a work of art that has endured over 100 years of history. When it comes to rarity, the 1917 without mint mark sits high on the list. Many Buffalo nickels exist, but very few from this year remain in such collectible states. Its scarcity fuels an intense demand among collectors worldwide. Whenever one appears at auction, it sets off a storm of bidding, seasoned experts, private investors, and passionate hobbyists all racing against each other to claim the prize. And make no mistake, this coin is not just a collector's item, it is a crown jewel, a statement piece, the kind of coin that defines an entire collection. And now, the moment of truth, the value. In today's market, the year 1917 Buffalo nickel in fine condition has been recorded at an astonishing $230,500. Yes, nearly $250,000 for a nickel that once bought a loaf of bread during the First World War. This is not imagination. This is the real, current, absolutely faithful market value that collectors are paying today. And here's what makes it even more thrilling. Its value continues to rise. Day by day, year by year, the demand grows stronger while the supply remains frozen in history. Each example discovered only drives home how precious and limited they truly are. Owning one is like carrying a treasure chest that fills itself as time marches forward. For collectors, the 1917 Buffalo nickel is both an opportunity and a responsibility. If you ever come across one, know that you're not just holding a coin, you're holding a fortune, a relic, and a legacy. Have it authenticated, preserve it carefully, and recognize that you possess a piece of American history worth far more than its weight in metal. This coin proves the power of numismatics. It proves that treasures still exist in plain sight, hiding in collections, waiting to be discovered. And at a value of over $200,000, the year 1917 Buffalo nickel without mint mark is one of those treasures that can quite literally transform lives. But here's the best part, we're not done yet. The final coin in our countdown is coming up next, and trust me, it's the one that will leave you breathless. If you have been amazed so far, you're about to be stunned. Stay with me, because coin number 6 is the climax of this journey into the world of rare Buffalo nickels. Coin number 6. And now, my friends, we reach the climax of our treasure hunt, the 6th and final coin in today's countdown. A coin that carries not only breathtaking value, but also a story so powerful it echoes through the decades. Coin number 6 is the 1921 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark, found in fine condition. And let me tell you, this coin is more than just a relic. It is a legend, a crown jewel, and a fortune pressed into metal. The year 1921 was no ordinary year. America was in transition, moving out of the shadow of World War I and into an era of change and innovation. The Buffalo nickel had already become an icon of the United States. Coinage, admired for James Earl Fraser's artistic design that captured the heart of a nation. But the 1921 issue struck at the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark holds a special place. It is one of those editions where scarcity, beauty, and history collide to create a coin of almost mythical status. Think about it. Millions of Buffalo nickels were minted across the decades, yet very few from 1921 survived in collectible form. Most were worn smooth in circulation during the tough economic times of the early 1920s, their details erased by countless exchanges. That's why finding one today in fine condition is so extraordinary. It's as if time itself conspired to preserve a handful of these treasures, leaving us with a coin that looks back at us across more than a century with dignity, strength, and untamed beauty. Look closely and you will see why collectors are mesmerized. The Native American portrait on the obverse, even in fine condition, still reveals sharp lines in the cheek, hair, and feathers, a face that seems to tell its own story. On the reverse, the American bison still stands tall, its massive frame and posture radiating power. For a coin that lived in circulation for years, to retain such details is nothing short of remarkable. Every surviving example feels like a small miracle. But here's where the suspense tightens: rarity. The 1921 Buffalo nickel is scarce, yes, but when found in fine condition, it becomes a prize so coveted that collectors across the globe are willing to push auctions to dizzying heights. This isn't just a collectible, it's a statement piece. When a 1921 without mint mark surfaces, it commands the room, and the bidding frenzy that follows is nothing less than electric. It's not uncommon for experienced collectors to describe the 1921 as one of the must-have keys to completing a serious Buffalo nickel collection. And now, the value that makes hearts race. Today, in the current auction market, the 1921 Buffalo nickel in fine condition is valued at an astonishing $220,500. Yes, over $220,000 for a 5-cent piece. That is not fiction, not speculation. It is the faithful, verified truth of today's collector market. And what makes this even more extraordinary is that the value is climbing. Each year, this coin's worth grows higher and higher, like a treasure chest filling itself over time. Owning one is like holding lightning in your hand, rare, powerful, and impossible to replace. For collectors, this coin is both a dream and a destiny. If you ever come across a 1921 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark, do not take it lightly. Authenticate it, preserve it, and understand that you are holding something that transcends the ordinary. This isn't just wealth, it's heritage, a legacy, a timeless treasure that binds history, art, and fortune into one extraordinary piece. And so, we conclude our countdown of the top 6 ultra-rare and most valuable Buffalo nickels. From the 1936 D to this breathtaking 1921 no mint mark, each of these coins tells a story of America's past while offering the thrill of unimaginable value in the present. They are proof that treasures still exist, hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to see them. Remember, my friends, this channel, Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, is your faithful and trustworthy source for daily updates on the most incredible and the most valuable coins in America. If you've enjoyed this journey, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because tomorrow could bring another discovery, another treasure, and perhaps even the key to your own fortune. So keep searching, keep collecting, and keep believing, because history is full of hidden treasures, and one of them might just be waiting for you.